They moved her up by 3 weeks.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
She's like, and I'm out.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey guys. So my name is Feather Bethany. We are going to be sharing some stories of hope and how to thrive through living with diabetes. We're sharing some tips, and in no way is this meant to take the place of seeing your healthcare professional or your healthcare team or seeking their advice. This is just ways that we have found to help our bodies thrive through illnesses. And tonight specifically, we're going to be talking about diabetes. So I am going to introduce Dottie, and no, sorry, y'all. I lied. I'm going to introduce Vanessa first. She's going to share her story.
Hey, everybody. So happy that you're here or you're watching the replay. I got excited when Feather asked me because I haven't told my story in a long time. And when you don't tell your story, you kind of forget where you came from. So I was kind of reliving where my story began with diabetes. So I had 4 beautiful girls, had gestational diabetes with 3 of them. And I just didn't do a good job controlling what I ate. I never did. Like, I would drink the 40-ounce Slurpees from 7-Eleven. I would go and just eat. Oh, it's embarrassing. Just, I was a sugar addict, but I was an athlete. So I thought that it was fine, like no big deal. So when I got in my mid-30s and was diagnosed, it made a lot of sense because I was having all the symptoms, and I thought it was very depressing for me because I know people who have it and I see when they don't control it, what happens. So we decided to make a very drastic change, and we switched from eating the traditional American diet to a plant-based diet. And it really wasn't a super hard transition for us. We started to see benefits right away, and the energy level, just the allergies, those kind of things. But I felt like there was still something kind of missing because we kind of ate the same things every day. I like routine. So I got invited to this party. A friend had been telling me about it, and I had heard about these capsules, these chewables, but I am a hard sell and I'm very skeptical. And I think rightfully so. I think you should be. You shouldn't just take everything that people throw at you. You really should do your research. But at this party, she said there were going to be free chewables for our kids, and I am a sucker for free. So I thought, well, I'll just go. I love her, so let's just go and try it out. And here, 5 years later, I signed up that night because I thought, well, it's not a big deal. It wasn't a whole lot of money. My kids would get it for free. In the first 2 weeks of taking the capsules, the fruit and veggie capsules, that's what I started with, I noticed a drastic change. Like, I wasn't taking my naps. I needed less insulin as an insulin dependent diabetic. And it just was like, just this, like, I can't believe like this is helping me this much. And then my husband, who is a medical provider, was looking through the research, and he was like, well, I mean, this is all actual, it's factual. This is black and white right here. I didn't really care about all that stuff because I don't have time to read through the thousands of pages they have on the research, but I'm glad it's there for those of you who are nerds like my husband. But I was thankful that he was on board. He started taking it, and he didn't notice a change like I did, but he's really healthy, and or so we thought. So he did his blood work, and then like 4 months later, he did his blood work again after being on it, because that's what they recommend. You stay on it for 4 months. And he called me from work and said, okay, I'm going to start recommending this to my patients. And I was so excited. I'm like, oh, tell me, what'd your blood work say? So he was pre-diabetic, didn't know that. And after taking it for 4 months, he came down like a whole point. His cholesterol came down like significantly. Like he said, this is like, if you're on a statin, this is how much my cholesterol dropped. And then he had fatty liver, and it pretty much just went away. And this is the only thing he changed. He doesn't exercise. So that was really eye-opening for me as well, because not only did it help me feel better, I know it was doing good things on the inside for me. So I started running again. I was craving less sugar because I was taking all these fruits and veggies in. And as a diabetic, it's not advisable to sit and eat a whole bowl of grapes or to munch on, watermelon or whatever, just for the sugar content. So with the capsules, it was really amazing because I was getting all these nutrients that our body needs. I mean, God created this without the sugar. So to me, it was just a win-win. I mean, our kids all have been doing better. Like with allergies, they don't do like the drops anymore. I don't do shots for allergies. I'm not saying it's perfect because we live in West Texas, so occasionally stuff will come up, but it is nothing like it used to be. So for our family, we couldn't just sit on it and say, well, this is working for us. No, we had to tell people. Like, even now, my husband opened up a clinic and he puts people on this because he sees their lab work and then he recommends it, start taking it, and they're getting better. They enjoy taking it. They enjoy their kids are getting it for free. And it's just fruits and veggies and berries in a capsule or a chewable. And I would just say, I mean, as a diabetic, I appreciate it so extremely much, because this is not just to take it because I like it. This is for my health. This is for the longevity of my life, the quality of my life. And I know many of you have diabetes, or you know somebody who could definitely benefit from more fruits and veggies in their diet. And it's completely doable. It's not going to break the bank. There's ways that you can save on it and make money. There's just different ways that you can make this work for your family. And if it's important enough, like it was for us, you'll find a way to do it, and you can ask us too. But anyway, I could talk for a long time about it because there's just been so many things that have been so beneficial to us. My hair, I took the omegas, my hair started growing again. Like, this is weird. Like, I've always had short, gross, dry hair. And then my nails started growing, my eyelashes. So my vision got better, brain fog when I was taking the omegas. It's just, yeah, I endorse it 100%. I'm so thankful for it. It's been 5 years and we will never stop taking it as a family. So
thank you so much for sharing. I love your story, and I think I fall in love with it every time I hear it. So I am going to share a video by her name is Laura Allen. Her story, she doesn't personally have diabetes, but her husband had it. And then there's an amazing story with her daughter. And so I am going to share that. She could not be with us tonight. So let me put this up.
Hey guys, my name's Laura Allen and I live in Charleston, South Carolina. I am a mom to 2 little girls, Emmylou and Virginia, 7 and 9, and married to my husband of 12 years, Julian. And I was asked today to share our health journey, and specifically autoimmune and type 1 diabetes. So I'm always honored to share our journey because we have hope. 12 years ago, where our journey started, we did not have hope for our health or for our future. And I'm so grateful that a patient's mom shared this information and education that you're hearing tonight. So 12 years ago, I was treating a little guy on the spectrum. I'm a speech pathologist, and I was noticing changes in his behavior and attention, and he was more regular and all the things. And his mom shared fruits and veggies in a capsule. What she didn't know, my story, is I was 8 weeks pregnant, terrified I was going to lose the baby. I was still silently struggling with an eating disorder that had consumed my life for years. So fruits and veggies in a capsule made sense for the sweet girl growing inside of me and my husband. He's type 1 diabetic, has been since age 13. His mom is also type 1 diabetic. And he stayed away from fruits. We don't anymore. We know better now. But stayed away from fruits, didn't like vegetables other than grilled asparagus, and was eating a keto Atkins diet for as long as I had known him, because that is how his endocrinologist told him to eat. Less carbs, less insulin. We know better now. Well, of course, he was on a statin drug. He had high cholesterol because he was eating a lot of animal protein. He didn't have energy, couldn't kick a cold, took a Claritin every single day of his life. He was overweight. He was about 30 pounds overweight, and we just didn't feel good. To wake up every single day and need a second cup of coffee at 3 o'clock, that's not normal. So it made sense. The encapsulated produce made sense for him because it was 30 fruits, vegetables, and berries ground up and put into a capsule with the sugar removed and hardly any carbs, and he didn't have to chew any vegetables. So we added, that was one simple change that we made. We added the encapsulated produce, and y'all, in a short period of time, our health literally went from desperate to thriving. We started waking up with energy, we started feeling amazing, and we started learning, thanks to this community, about the relationship between nutrition and disease, and inflammation and autoimmune, and the power of plants and healing the body, and specifically really type 1 diabetes. So y'all, it was actually my husband's endocrinologist that was, his blood work was changing. She was like, what are you doing differently? And he said nothing. And then about 8 months in, he was like, oh my goodness, it's that encapsulated produce. So the plantar's warts on his feet disappeared. His A1C was coming down. His cravings were changing. He was actually craving fruits and vegetables. And y'all, today, these are some of the changes that we've experienced. His A1C went from 7.6 to 6.6. He's completely transitioned to, not completely, but 85% of the time, a plant-focused diet. We eliminated dairy and gluten over the course of this 10-year journey. He's using less insulin because he's more sensitive to insulin. He no longer has seasonal allergies because that's inflammation. Let's see, what else? He's lost about 30 pounds because remember, this was the one simple change. It was the catalyst to us making other lifestyle changes. And we just feel better, y'all. You can't put a price on that. We wake up with energy every single day. We feel amazing. We have hope for the future. He no longer has seasonal allergies, doesn't take a Claritin, doesn't take cholesterol. All he takes is insulin. And his encapsulated produce and 1 shake a day. That has been incredibly important for his daily blood sugar levels being more stable. Also, a piece of our story is our daughter at 18 months old was diagnosed with antibodies for type 1 diabetes. And that diagnosis took our breath away. And they said that she would likely need insulin within a year at 18 months old. That was not a good answer to a mama on a mission. And y'all, praise God, she is almost 10 years old and her A1C is normal. We know it's called epigenetics. It's the foods that we eat, specifically the plant nutrition, that turns on and off those good and bad genes. So we are so passionate, so grateful for this easy way to flood our bodies with plants to support a healthy immune system and, balance the immune system, which we know diabetes is autoimmune type 1, and it's easy. It's our go-to. We've just seen huge benefits in our overall health, and we are just so grateful that it's easy. So reach out. That's our story. Happy to share more. Reach out if you have any questions, and I hope you are enjoying this event. Talk to you soon.
Y'all, that story gives me chills every time. I can't imagine being told my 18-month-old child would likely be on insulin in a year. That's a scary diagnosis. So I'm going to now turn it over to Dottie. She's got an amazing diabetes story of her own, and she helps diabetes patients for a living. So I'm going to let y'all hear from her.
Hi guys, it's good to be here and I love these stories. We get to hear them every day. And it's really exciting to give hope. And that's what we're here tonight to do. We want to give hope to all of you. And this is one piece of that. Diabetes is multifaceted. November is Diabetes Awareness Month. And so I've been guest speaking all over and doing all kinds of Zooms because we want the world to know. We want to bring awareness to people. Like, what do we do every day? How do we manage our diabetes every day? How is it working for us? It's not easy. And until there's a cure, we have each other and we have hope. And we want to instill that in everybody. And I want to give you a few little life hacks. I agree with these ladies. I've been on Juice Plus for 14 years. I'm not going to be without it. My family's not going to be without it. And why, do you ask? Because it's so simple. There's no way you can get this amount of good whole nutrition in your diet. There's no way for you to go to a store or grow your own and have it this simple. Juicing, it's less expensive to do it our way. They took out the sugar and the water and it's in capsules. And you take them, you can throw them into a blender, you can swallow them, you can do whatever, however you want to get it into your system. They also come in gummies. So this is just easy. Then I know that I am at least covered with that foundation. So we're here today just to bring some hope, some simple things that you can do. I actually have adult onset type 1 diabetes, which is a little odd and more rare, not as rare as we thought it was. Oddly enough, it's what I do for a living. I'm an RN for 30 years, and I've been doing a diabetes education for at least that. So I'm an education specialist in diabetes. And so no shape or form is this to, override what your family, family doctor, whoever you're seeing, your PCP, your endocrinologist, is recommending. But they may need to know it too. And if they happen to be blessed, they might probably be on this as well, especially if I have been talking to them, because this is just food. This is not a vitamin. I need a t-shirt. I need a t-shirt that says that. It's just food. And you need to look at the label. It's a food label. It's nutrition. It's not a supplement. So we're supplementing your plate by taking these capsules. We also have a few other products. She talked about the shakes. I've been on these shakes for years, 14 years. These shakes are, they come in chocolate and vanilla. And then we do have a new one that's coming out that is of a different protein source. And we do have our new Berry Blast. So what's so neat, you never get tired of taking these shakes every morning or even every evening if you want something lighter in the evening, because you can just doctor them up. You can have different add-ins, kale, peanut butter, banana, whatever it is. I like to blend mine, but not completely smooth because I like to chew. I think chewing your food is very, very healthy for you. It helps relax your arterial walls. So it's very important to chew. But the cool thing about diabetes and this particular shake, usually in the top 10 shakes, but we won't mention that, is the fiber content. You're not going to find a lot of fiber in a lot of the shakes that you see on those shelves and aisles. This one is a lot of fiber, and that helps blunt the rise of the blood sugar. That is a hack with diabetes, is increasing your fiber. Do it slowly. Make sure you have a lot of water, but increase your fiber any chance you can. It will decrease the blunt rise of a blood sugar. And it is glycemic, low glycemic, which means it does not go straight up. It's more of a slant. And that's very helpful for people that are managing their diabetes. So since we're hope givers, these are life hacks. There's a few other life hacks I'm going to tell you about. Your capsules. This is flooding my system with fruits and vegetables and berries and omegas. I don't have to give myself insulin for these, but yet it's giving me whole food because it took out the sugar and the water. Now, wrap your mind around that. I inject insulin. I'm on an insulin pump and have been since day one, basically. I don't have to give myself insulin for this, but yet I'm getting the nutritional benefit of eating these. That is, I can get emotional just about that. That's why these will never be too far away from me. I do these every morning. I do not miss. And then if I feel as though I've been around a lot of sick people, I want to up it a little bit, I take another one in the evening. It's just food, people. It's just food, but I don't have to give myself insulin for my capsules. That's huge because number one, insulin's a fat storing hormone and it makes me gain weight. And guess what? It's expensive. So this helps me maintain my blood sugars without having to give extra insulin. It's a big deal. That is right there. You really don't even have to say anything else because that is huge for a person with diabetes. So we really encourage everyone to do their homework. The research is there. She mentioned a lot of the research. Dental health. My dentist says, "Are you trying to put me out of business?" My dental health is phenomenal, which is very, very hard to do when you have diabetes. And there's heart information, there's lung information, the immune system is huge. We have so much data in research on these things, and it goes on and beyond. And we even have new research coming out. This is food. Food is medicine, and we need to get back to the basics. And if you need medicine like me, I have to have insulin, then you sprinkle the least amount and you're good to go. So visit with your healthcare provider, visit with the person that invited you here, because this is really something you want to look at. And I just wish that I had someone to grab me by the hand and say, "Hey, you might need to look at this," because it sure would have been beneficial with my husband, cancer survivor twice, my child with allergies, my children that I adopted that were completely nutritionally a mess. And, it's so simple. And the other thing that I don't want to forget is, why do I do the business? The reason why I'm in this business is because they are hope givers. They give people hope when sometimes you don't feel like there's too much. And the business side helps offset the cost of my products because I'm not going to be without this product. So it offsets that cost and can go well beyond that. And plus, it's a company that loves giving back. And so I want to be a part of that. And that's why I joined, and that's why I'm not going anywhere. So what else? Anything else? If you want a few tips, a crock pot, get a crock pot. That's easy cooking. Watch your stress with diabetes. That's a big, big, big deal. And eat mostly plant foods. I'm on a plant-based diet for the most part, about 99% of the time. Eat more vegetables and fruits. And this is the way for you to jumpstart that and start craving more vegetables and fruits.
Thank you, ma'am. That was amazing. So I'm gonna close this out here. I thankfully I don't have a diabetes story per se. My mom is diabetic. My dad's mom was diabetic, and pretty much every generation above that had some form of diabetes in my family. And so I always knew the possibility of being diabetic was there. When I was 15 and going through cancer, my blood work always showed that I was borderline, like right there. I was like however it works, I don't even know that, but I was on the high end, like right on the cusp. And I have been since I was 15. I'm not anymore, like normal. My numbers are all normal. And to be honest, the only thing I really changed was taking these plant powders. And because I don't always eat the healthiest, I'm gonna be real, I don't eat the healthiest. We're getting better at that. But anyway, so I just want to encourage you, if anything that you heard tonight sparked something in you, reach out to the person who invited you, reach out to the person who shared this video with you, and have a conversation with them. This may be for you. It may not be for you. It may be for someone that you know, someone that you care about. So share it. And you've got 3 options. You can say, hey, this was some great information, and you got a little education and you just go on with your life. Or you can think, this could be for me. Maybe I need to start taking this, and you can add this to your diet and make that simple change that can be the catalyst for amazing health or like amazing future for your health. Does that even make sense? Or you can be like we did, and you can say, hey, this is amazing. I want this. I want to share with everybody. and you can join the business with us, and you can join our team and have an amazing community of support and fun. So wherever you're at is right where you're supposed to be. So just, we love you right where you are. If you want more information or if you want to have a conversation, just reach out to that person that shared this or invited you, and they would be more than happy to have a conversation and hopefully get you started. Hope everyone is having a great Thursday, and we will see y'all next Thursday right here with Hope, Stories of Hope for Cancer. Bye.